HP and Gulf Publishing. We're very excited to be here today and give you just a quick overview of the downstream environment that IHS Markit is currently seeing, not only in the near term that affects the refining, the petrochemical industries, but also some of the longer term trends that perhaps I won't be around to fully experience, but many in the audience will see longer term. So just some of the themes we'll be going through today. First, crude oil markets, what's happening with crude supply and demand and pricing, where we see prices leveling out, and then get into some of the key drivers on the crude oil markets, which is what's happening with liquid supply, particularly in North America. So let's jump into crude markets here. If you look back over the past, 15, 40, 65 years, what you'll see is that there have been about five, significant periods of, portions of cycle. We think, the pattern is going to be somewhat different this time around, and primarily because the overall conditions in the oil market globally are very, very different than they were, say, in the 1980 to 1998 down cycle. Let's jump into the U.S. In particular. I know that this is an international conference, but I know there's also a very strong North American focus on it. So if you look at the engine of growth in the oil market in North America today, it's Permian. So as production of these unconventionals has grown, we've seen very, very rapid increases in crude oil and condensate exports from the U.S. to other markets. It's very interesting to look at the change between 2016 and 2017. Move into economic growth and demand. So we've talked about supply. Let's talk about what's going on in demand. So again, the supply outlook is, from our view, very, very optimistic, very positive. Demand is where you start to get the long-term questions. As you'll see through the slides here, the concerns about peak supply, which have completely disappeared, now have a legitimate counterpart, which is the view of peak demand, which we think we will get to peak demand. The question is how soon, what drives it, and how significant is it. When you look at where in the world the growth is occurring in oil demand, as in economic demand, it's primarily in the sort of the broader East to Suez region, China, India, the rest of Asia, the Middle East. So that's the long-term view. It's fairly pessimistic for gasoline demand. Again, very interesting connotations for chemical demand, particularly the chemicals that go into building vehicles, which will change dramatically over the coming years.